What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to the channel, your #1 spot for all things Buffalo Bills. Before we dive into today's massive update, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Every like and subscription helps keep this community growing strong. Now listen, our Bills are not standing still. This team is constantly looking for ways to get better, to sharpen every position, and to finally bring that Lombardi trophy to Buffalo. We're building, we're grinding, and today's news shows exactly how serious the front office is about making sure we have every angle covered heading into this season. So let's get into it, because this could change everything. All right, Bills Mafia, we need to talk about our running back situation. As you all know, James Cook, our star RB1, is currently looking for a contract extension. He's entering his 4th season, and honestly, he's earned the right to look for a payday after his breakout performances. But here's the twist. As of right now, Cook is not attending voluntary workouts. General Manager Brandon Beane spoke about it, saying, and I quote, it's voluntary. Guys come and go. Guys have things going on. You try not to look too far into it. We can all assume he's not here because he's unhappy with his contract or whatever, but that's not fair. He hasn't told me that. Translation? Cook might not be officially holding out, but this situation is definitely getting a little tense behind the scenes. And here's the real concern. As crucial as James Cook is to our offense, the Bills cannot afford to start the season without a reliable running back ready to go. Yes, we have Ray Davis and Ty Johnson, and no disrespect to them, but let's be real. Neither one has proven that they can be the guy in a high-stakes playoff run if Cook isn't ready. That's why, and here's where it gets spicy, a lot of insiders are now predicting that the Bills could make a move to sign J.K. Dobbins. That's right, folks. According to Corey Woodruff of For the Win, the Bills should target the former Los Angeles Chargers and Baltimore Ravens running back to serve as James Cook insurance. Woodruff said, with running back James Cook's future in Buffalo uncertain over contract issues, Dobbins would be an excellent depth piece for the Bills' running game after his resurgent 2024 season with the Los Angeles Chargers. And you know what? He's got a point. After battling injuries for the past few years, Dobbins finally stayed healthy. In 2024, and he made the most of it. He rushed for 905 yards and scored 9 touchdowns while adding another 153 yards receiving. That's not just serviceable. That's legit production. Look, we know Dobbins has had his share of injury concerns in the past, but with how late it is in free agency and with so few big money contracts being handed out, Dobbins wouldn't break the bank. In fact, according to Spotrac, he's projected to land a deal around 2 years, $8.1 million. But right now, at this point in the offseason, he's probably looking at a 1-year prove-it deal. And that's perfect for Buffalo. We're tight against the cap. We can't go handing out huge contracts right now, especially for a backup running back. But if we can get Dobbins on a cheap deal, it's a no-brainer. Even if Cook comes back healthy and motivated, Dobbins would be an incredible rotational piece for a Super Bowl contending team. If Cook holds out or, knock on wood, gets hurt, we'd have a former 1,000-yard rusher ready to step in. Bills Mafia, this could be a steal. Now, speaking of strengthening the roster, let's pivot real quick to the NFL draft because there's another major conversation happening among Bills fans right now. The Bills went heavy on defense in the 2025 NFL draft. First 5 picks, all defense. Maxwell Hairston at corner, TJ Sanders at defensive tackle, Landon Jackson at defensive end, and more. And listen, the defense needed help. We faded down the stretch last year. Brandon Beane recognized that and attacked it aggressively. But not everyone is 100% convinced we did enough. Nate Davis of USA Today gave the Bills a B+ draft grade. Solid, respectable. But here's what he said, and it might hit a nerve. A team that seems oh so close to its first Super Bowl win didn't seem to come out of this draft with that player or two who seemed capable of putting it over the top. In other words, did we get better? Absolutely. But did we find that true difference maker that can win us a Super Bowl right now? Maybe not. And to be fair, Davis isn't totally wrong. We didn't draft a high-profile weapon for Josh Allen. No new star wide receiver, no elite offensive playmaker to light up the scoreboard. But let's not panic. Keon Coleman's development is something to watch. The staff believes in him. Plus, the addition of Joshua Palmer through free agency gives us another weapon to pair with Stephon Diggs and Dalton Kincaid. The Bills clearly made a calculated decision. Fix the defense first because that's what cost us in January, not the offense. So the 2025 NFL Draft is officially in the books for the Buffalo Bills. Overall, solid class. Some really talented young players coming to Western New York. But, there's always that one decision that gets people talking. That one move, or in this case, a move they didn't make, that raises some eyebrows. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Because despite all the hype, all the speculation, and honestly, all the clear needs, the Bills didn't aggressively pursue one of the most talked about positions of need. Wide receiver, that's right. Believe it or not, Buffalo did not draft a wide receiver until the 7th round. Yup, you heard that right. The 7th round, pick number 240 overall, when they grabbed Maryland's Caden Prather. Now, we've all been around this game long. Enough to know that 7th rounders can sometimes become stars. But let's be real, it's a long shot. And when you look at the depth chart as it stands right now, it raises some very real concerns about our offense heading into 2025. None other than ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., one of the most respected voices when it comes to NFL draft analysis, weighed in after the draft. And folks, he didn't hold back. Kiper said, quote, "Not taking a receiver until number 240, Caden Prather, was curious." The Bills' first 5 picks went to defense. Only the second time in the common draft era they've done that, 2006. Chase Lunt is a depth right tackle. Jackson Hawes is a blocking tight end. While Buffalo walked away from the draft with some defensive upgrades, quarterback Josh Allen's unit didn't improve this month. Buffalo could regret not doing more there. All right, let's unpack that for a second. First, yes, it's true. The Bills invested heavily in defense early in the draft. They're trying to build a younger, faster, tougher unit to compete in. A loaded AFC. No one's arguing that defense doesn't matter. It absolutely does, and it's a big but. When you have a generational talent at quarterback in Josh Allen, you have to surround him with weapons. Full stop, period. Let's be honest, losing Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis in the same offseason left a massive hole in the wide receiver room. We were all expecting Brandon Beane to make a move early, maybe even trade up to grab a top receiver. Instead, we waited and waited and waited until pick 2. Meanwhile, right now, Khalil Shakir is penciled in as the number 1 receiver. And look, Shakir is a baller. He really showed flashes last year. But asking him to suddenly step into that alpha WR1 role, that's a huge leap behind him. We've got Keon Coleman, the rookie second rounder from Florida State, who's got size and raw talent but still needs to develop. Then there's Joshua Palmer, a solid veteran presence, and Curtis Samuel, who brings versatility but is more of a gadget guy than a traditional number 1 threat. And now Caden Prather joins the mix. Prather had a nice season at Maryland. 56 catches for 624 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's got good size at 6'4", can make contested catches, and shows promise. But again, we're talking about a 7th round pick. Expecting him to make an immediate impact? That's a big gamble. So what does this mean for the Bills heading into the 2025 season? Basically, Buffalo is betting on internal development. They're betting on Josh Allen's ability to elevate the guys around him. They're trusting that Shakir, Coleman, Palmer, and Samuel, plus Prather, can grow into their roles and give Allen enough firepower to keep the offense explosive. It's a bold strategy. Could it work? Absolutely. Josh Allen is that good. And Joe Brady's offense is designed to get guys open and let Josh cook. But it's also risky. Because in today's NFL, wide receiver talent wins games. Look around. Every top contender has 2 or 3 legit pass-catching threats. And the Bills? As of today? We're hoping these young guys step up instead of rolling out proven established weapons. So here's where we stand, Bills Mafia. James Cook wants a new deal. The Bills might sign J.K. Dobbins as insurance. Our draft class has reloaded the defense. But some are questioning whether it's enough to finally push us over the top. What do you think, Mafia? Should we go after Dobbins right now just to be safe? Or should we ride it out and trust that Cook will be there when it counts? And what's your grade for the draft? Did we do enough to finally get Josh Allen and this team over the hump? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them and can't wait to hear from you guys. And don't forget, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a Breaking Bills update. This is our year, Mafia. Let's go get it. Until next time, go Bills!